Hey, welcome back to the channel. Got a little something on the bench I'm working on. So I have OddityRC's new 20 by 20 stack. So I'm kind of excited about this because it has a 32-bit ESC. And I've kind of been missing the 32-bit ESCs. Patchy Smoke, how's it going? Good to see you in here. Four Eyes, happy Thursday. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited about this. So I have a unboxing video that I'm going to put out later. I got to edit it still. But I just figured I'd come down here and work on this 3-inch build. So let's take a look at that. Get my camera over here. Audio coming in good. So I have the 20 by 20 stack, and I'm going to be putting it in an older 3-inch frame. Now here's the thing. I'm going to use these motors. These are 1405. What are they? 48,000 kV. I'm sorry, 4800 kV. So yeah, 1405, 4800 kV. Just to let you know that this stack right now, this 20 by 20 32-bit stack, is on sale for $31.99. I do have an affiliate link down in the description. So if you check the description on the live stream here, there's an affiliate link in there. The only reason I did the affiliate link is because they are going to give Propsoff family members 10% off. Fix this camera. It's like there. So because they're going to give 10% off, I agreed to do the affiliate link. So that's really cool. So you just use the affiliate link, go to Oddity, and then use the promo code Propsoff, capital P, capital O, and you get 10% off. Now, this sale that they're doing right now, $31.99 on this, I've already had somebody order it, and it wouldn't let them do the promo code because it's already on discount. So that's understandable, but there you go. Yes, loud and clear. Excellent. Thanks. Thumbs up for us. Appreciate it, guys. But this is an older frame because these motors are a 9mm mounting point. So I need that smaller. You can see that this frame has a 12 or 9mm. This is the only frame I have that actually will do that. So, but this is an old, like Martian frame. It has like, was it 6, 7 standoffs, but I'm not going to use any of the others. I'm just going to use the top plate as protection. I'm going to bottom mount this battery, and I'm going to rip it analog. So analog, we're going to do the Starlight Toothless Nano, Foxeer Toothless Starlight Nano, and then the HGLRC Zeus VTX. And then we're going to do Radio Master. This is the EP2. So the EP2 has a little ceramic antenna. Make sure chat's catching up here. Don't want to get scolded for that again. All right. So yeah, the Radio Master EP2 with the little ceramic antenna. I was thinking about putting this on there, but I think I may just put a regular dipole antenna. I'm pretty much going to be, flying this around like jungle gyms and small park areas or something. But yeah, these motors should be pretty cool. These are OddityRC's motors. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to show you if you could feel this. When you turn this motor, you can feel those magnets. I did an unboxing video already. Let's jump over here to the internet and I'll show you real quick. Oops. Forgot to switch screens here. Let me see. Is that right? There we go. So already in the videos here, I did right here, I did their F7 F722 all-in-one with the 1405 motors. So I put the motors under the microscope so you can kind of see the detail on the magnets, like how tight the tolerances are, which makes them really notchy. And then I think that was it. So like I said, I still have to do the unboxing video of this flight stack, but that's coming soon. So let's see. Make sure chat's back out. All right. So yeah, don't worry, no scolding here. Appreciate that, Patsy. I honestly, I don't even remember the guy's name. He went off, and I'm not sure what the deal was. I went and checked. The chat was like less than, I think it was like 2 or 3 seconds off. But when I switch between Betaflight and the internet, it like holds chat. And then of course I'm trying to catch up. I don't want to miss anybody because my viewership is small enough. I can try to answer everybody, right? Mr. Zek, how you doing? Mr. Zeke, welcome to the live stream. Robert, you two decided it didn't like my name, and I've tried to change it back so many times. Oh, Robert. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah. I'm always telling people about John, RC Video Reviews channel. Amazing amount of information. He gets to play with some really cool stuff. I have to admit, I'm a little jealous of some of them helis he gets to fly. I flew 3D helis 2010 through 12, but really small stuff. I was wanting to get into the bigger stuff. Then I had kids. How much would this build cost, Four Eyes? Well, that's an interesting question because OddityRC right now having a sale, that stack right there, the whole stack, 32-bit ESCs. And I already put it under the microscope, and they're using pretty good voltage regulators. I'm kind of excited. You know how it is, though. You're reluctant, too. You don't want to have, over expectations. But I'm liking what I've seen on this stack. $31.99 for the stack. I think the motors are... You're going to make me look, ain't you? The motors are like... I hate to say $12. A frame that has 9mm mounting point for those motors. Probably $20 maybe. You can get these on Amazon. These are the Martian 4, I think it is. Martian V4 or something like that. Camera, I think they bumped these up. These are the Foxeer Toothless Nanos. I think they're like $36 or something. And then Zeus Nano VTX. So 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, I don't know, $130 maybe. Not too bad. I'm running 4S 650 on this. Depending on the weight, I might go up to 850. Not worth remembering. Yeah, the guy that went scolded me. So yeah, with the motors here, they give you some motor screws. So we'll make sure those are the right length for this frame. The frame I'm using, I don't exactly know what it is anymore. This frame, I've had this frame for quite some time. Let's take a gander at what they got here. So the screws they give us are about 5.5. So the shank on that motor screw is about 5.5. And my frame that I'm putting it in is a 3mm frame. So that's going to give me 2.5mm protruding to catch the motor. That's about 2.5mm. And then the base the base of our motor is about 2.5. So look at that. So these motor screws should be perfect for a 3mm or 3.5mm frame. And they actually did put some Loctite. I don't know if you could see it. They put some Loctite already on those screws. So that's quite nice. Looks like they give me six screws in this baggie. I don't want to say they did. Let me make sure they didn't give different length screws. Let me make sure they're all the same length. Not bad. Yeah. Not bad at all. I like these little baggies I saved. Let's just make sure that they didn't give. Okay, so this screw here is about little around 6.5. So it looks like we have 6.5, 5.5, 5.5. Here's another 6.5, 5.5, 5.5. So it looks like there's 2 longer screws. I debate if those longer screws are maybe for a frame that they have that has the brace. So I'm not sure exactly. Man, what is up with YouTube and their advertisements? I mean, it's gotten to be ridiculous. They're going to ban me now that I griped about their marketing. I mean, the YouTube videos, I can get a pretty decent amount of views on a video, and it don't pay anything. Not like it used to. So, as far as all the commercials they put on my stuff, it's like, it ain't worth it to me, really. Mr. Zeke says, I was under the impression that Loctite will not cure without the absence of air. I'm not sure about that. I just know it adds a little bit of thread lock to it. Yeah, these 5.5s are perfect for this. I know I've used Loctite on all kinds of stuff. I use the blue on drone parts. I haven't used the red on it. Try to keep this in frame. Let me see if I can move my camera so next. Is it better? Seems lighting a little bit there. Yeah, I keep going out of frame every time I'm doing something. I look down. I won't be using the XD60 they supplied with this flight stack. No need to go that large on a small 4S build like this. And then I probably won't use the one that they supplied either, because I'm going to put the capacitor on the lead. Yeah, because you got a point, Mr. Zeke. When it comes, especially FPV, as niche as this hobby is, if you go into YouTube and type in FPV and then filter it to 1 day, there's a lot of videos. So I will tell you that the stack and these motors were given to me by OddityRC. They contacted me, said, "Hey, we want you to check this out." And at first I'm like, "Yeah, okay," because I get calls and messages from companies that want me to try out stuff, but then they also want me to say good things. They want me to make this video. They want me to do this. They want me to do that. It just ain't worth it to me. I like to kind of do whatever I want to do. But they didn't. They just said, hey, we just want to know what you think about it. Just make sure I get the 6.5 out of there. I believe if you go 6.5, you're going to go up into the, so I'm just barely protruding above that. If you can see that, you could just see the end of it coming up. So perfect height. Yeah, you know what? The thing is, I'm telling you, people are going to use this because this flight stack, this ESC is boasting 60 amp. So 50 amp for 4S, 60 amp for 6S. Peak. I mean, that's like, you know, a 3-second burst kind of scenario. 30 to 40 amp all day long. So I do suspect people are going to want this stack for larger builds. These motors are going to be, I'm going to assume they're going to be a little bit amp hungry because they're really notchy. They have a lot of resistance to them. The magnets are super, super strong and really tight together. Some people like a freestyle quad with real smooth motors. I like a freestyle quad that's got a lot of grunt. And this motor seems as if it's going to have, this motor reminds me of like the iFlight Tachyon 1408 motor, which is super notchy. So that's why I'm going to pair these motors up with the Gemfan 3052. So really aggressive 3-inch prop. You can see the blade on that. So I'll try to hold it level for you. Look at that, look at that scoop on that, dude. So this thing ought to eat a battery really good. But I like the you know, something that's grunty. It punches out hard and get you excited. Not sure yet what I'm gonna do with the battery mounting. I'm thinking about coming out here. I thought about coming out here. I want to do what I did on the Super Duper, because this has turned out to be kind of the best case scenario for me. Coming out the side here and then down underneath the frame. I have yet to injure that wire. So I think on this I might come out the back right here, and that way I can zip tie the strain relief, the battery lead to the back plate right here. And then the Zeus, I thought about breaking off these notches and putting it in here like that, just gluing it in. So we'll see. This ESC is not small. You can see it's 20 by 20, but you can see how much larger it is than a 20 by 20. Okay. Overhangs the board a bit. Oh, you know what? I meant to show you this. Look at this. So last night I did fly this. Four Eyes, did you get a chance to fly the Super Duper? Yes, I did. I flew this last night. Flew about 4 packs through it. Just doing some punch outs, listening for oscillations. I was actually surprised. Bone stock settings, I had a little bit of whistle on the motors. I had a little high pitch, so there's going to be some tuning I'm going to do to take that out. But no oscillations to really speak of. Punch outs were really strong. I did some cyclones, and it flew really well. But check out these LEDs. Yeah, so that's the front. Eventually I'll have I don't have You know, Hobby Dollar's a little light, but I'm gonna try to get a hold of a Vista to put in here with the Cadex Nebula Pro. But yeah, check out that. I know it's hard to see with all the studio lighting, but the back will be bright green, and then the front. So last night while I was flying this LED is like, I mean, it's super intense, but it like was kind of blinding me, you know. So as I'm flying it around, you know, it's dark out. I'm in a parking lot with like, you know, street lamps and stuff, and but staring at this quad the whole time. After I was done, I had to sit in my car and just kind of hang for a little bit because I had like a dark spot and I couldn't see. All right, so we'll put some grommets to this, dude. I will say one thing about OddityRC's grommets. They're very firm. Oops, I just heard something. There it is. The washers are metal. They give you some metal M2 nuts and then some metal washers to secure your stack. They do not supply stack screws. Usually that's your frame company. So how do I want to mount this? I think this stack is going to sit up pretty high on there. So I think I'm going to mount it upside down. I think I want the pads on the upside. I thought about doing it on the bottom side, but see, I'm going to run a battery strap through here. How should I mount that? Because I have to choose, because you can see the grommet they supply has a tall and a short end. I want the tall end down so I can get my battery strap in there. Yeah. I think I might come in here with my motor wires. I think I'll go ahead and mount it. Mount it like that. Whether that's upside down or not, I guess is to be questioned. Yeah, line of sight. Yeah. I like flying line of sight. I mean, obviously FPV is, you know, that's what's got me addicted to the hobby, right? But I flew line of sight for a long time. I just don't have the money for the 3D helicopters. The 3D helicopters are very expensive, and if you're intimidated or scared to fly it, then you're gonna crash. I'm wanting to film this for you, but I need to get it up to here. These grommets are super. They're very dense. They don't squish very easy. Very stiff. All right, make sure that height is going to be good. Don't want that connector touching the frame. Yeah, this should do good. Plenty of room to get my battery strap in. Yeah, Four Eyes, you like to fly line of sight too. Brandon Beans, how's it going? Let me get my battery strap in here to make sure that's gonna clear that okay. I don't want it trying to tear parts off. Should be good. Yeah, I'm going to do a bottom mount battery on this freestyle ripper. Flying the super duper, I just become, we really didn't do top mount battery till later on anyway, but top mount battery is kind of a pain. I don't really see the benefit in it. For the pain that it causes, I don't see the benefit in it. Because you have to run your motor wire, up to your battery. So then your motor wire potentially is in your prop line. Like, not really something I want to do anymore. It's aggravating when you get like into a crash and then your lipo leads get into your prop line, then you're done for the day. Unless you want to, if they get bad enough cut. Anybody working on anything right now? I'm trying to film this for you, but these are really, they don't squish all the way down. They're not very squishy, which is fine by me because I had some yellow ones somewhere. They were so squishy. Like you couldn't even tighten down the stack. It just kept rattling around. I took them out and put some other ones that I had. I don't know where the yellow ones that I have, I don't know what they come out of. Yeah. We'll have to get a camera. Someday we'll get a camera that has a wide enough view that I could. Pick me a different tool to do this. On one of my 5-inch freestyle frames, the battery lead is zip tied with 5mm clearance to the prop line. Yeah. Ooh. Scary. You do a hard enough turn, send enough G-forces to that wire, yeah, that would be a bummer. Be mid-flight, do a evasive maneuver, have your battery lead get cut. Anybody here use the Wi-Fi beeper? So if you have a battery ejection, it still beeps. I usually don't worry about that stuff myself just because I don't really fly that far away from myself. I like to hear my motors. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna have to say on this one here, there's a couple of resistors that are super close. So you go in here with a tool to put that grommet in. They put those resistors right next to the hull. I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't like when they do that. I know they're trying to utilize some space or something, but having I've always found that if you have components right next to the mounting holes, that they usually get tore off in a crash. Yeah, that's kind of a catch-22. I really like the firmness of these, but the pain to get them in because it's M2. If it was M3, it would be no issue, but M2, they're kind of tight. I'm trying not to mess this up because the components are pretty close to the hole. It'd be easy to rake one of them off. Use a few on your quad. Oh, you're up, Mr. Zeke uses. You're up in the brush in northern Alberta. Alberta. I've been hearing more and more about Alberta on the news. They're wanting their independence. You know, I watched one of the C-SPAN. I think it was. I don't know. It was one of their parliament meetings, and they were explaining how much money Albertans generate for the country. You know, like sounds like Alberta's a place to live. They got quite a bit going on. Industry, mining, and other things. I don't know. I don't know not much about it. Seems to be in the news lately. Quads, I mean, and they saved them a few times already. Patchy Smoke says, yes, I use a few on my quads. So you've had it save you already with battery ejection, and then it's still beeping for you. Firefly is one of the few companies that I deal with. I helped design I aided in the design of the Whoopster V3, and there's a little something in the works coming. Not sure. I was hoping they would have some news before Christmas. Wow. Sorry to do that off camera, but that was quite a something. So let's see here. I'm not going to use this frame comes with camera supports, some carbon camera supports. I don't use them anymore because the camera wants to slip and slide. So I'll put this into the frame, and I'm using TPU. They're just little L-shaped brackets, basically, of TPU. So you remember which way is the front. So I can show you how much space is underneath there for the grommet. And like I said, they're firm, so when you tighten this stack down, there's not a whole lot of play. Make sure my battery strap slides around. Yep, plenty of space. Grab my M2 screws. Here's what I'm talking about. I have to find my other ones, because I'm using, these are M2 standoffs and these are M3 holes. That's what I'm talking about. Put that on your standoff, and then put that on your standoff. Hold your camera nice and tight. It doesn't want to rotate around. Pretty nice. Actually, I just thought about it. These are M3 standoffs. So that'll work out. I got these on race day quads, I think. So I'll have to put a little bit of something, maybe a little chunk of wire tie in there to keep them from sliding around. But you get the idea. So, let's see if I got a different one that won't slide around as much. There we go. Left and a right hand. We'll get that camera put in there, get our 50-degree camera angle going on. So, yeah, I like that quite well. Definitely eliminates any possibility of jello. Oh, you guys are Chatting away here. Let me look. Put some on because of snow. I haven't flown in deep snow yet. I just know I'll lose it. Hey, how's it going? Hey, K Ash. My screws are rusted and not coming out. What do I do? What are the screws going into, and what size are they? Are they M2, M3? What are they attached to? Are they steel screws going into aluminum? Sub sniper. Just had to get my kid sick from school. Take care, everyone. Oh man, Brandon Beans, hate to hear that. Yeah, it's going around. I hate to say it, but I know a few people. My wife, one of them, just snot nosy, cold kind of thing. So far, nothing major. My mom just got done at the doctor's today. Steroid, antibiotic, and a breathing treatment. So I'll be checking in on her here pretty soon. It's 1:20 right now. I just wanted to get my motor and ESC plan of attack. Not sure if maybe I was gonna say I'm missing a bag of screws. Oh, there it is. Like, that's kind of weird. They didn't put a bag of screws in there, but they did. Hope we see them better soon. Yeah, yeah. Me and Apache be thinking about you. Ain't nothing worse than one of your kids getting sick. Not just because of the fact that they're miserable and they tend to share that misery, but some of this stuff going around, man, I don't know. I don't remember having some of this stuff. Like, it's just not a cold anymore. It's like put you on your knees, dragged out for 2 weeks. Brandon Bees, I put a Wi-Fi on anything large enough to hold one. Yeah, that's good advice. No built-in battery, you can't beat it. They were the only affiliate link I had for a long time. I have an affiliate with Wi-Fi. Did I accidentally grab one of the number 6s? Check, make sure. K Ash, what screws are rusted? What are they on? Yeah. I grabbed one of the 6mm ones. Let me see here. This one looks shorter. Oh, still 6. I think that's right. Normal motor screws attached to carbon fiber arm. So they're rusted and stripped. You can't get the head out. Are they? See, these are hex screws, and then you have button head, which are smaller, rounded. Are they hex, like a box like that? Because if they're like that, sometimes you can get lucky and take a little Dremel and Dremel a little flathead line in it. Because if that hex inside is stripped out, then I usually just cut a line and take it out that way. Or I've also broken the heads off. You know, I have to admit, on the design of this motor, like I said, I have a unboxing of the all-in-one, which I put in that super duper. They don't have a lot of exposed wire, so you could see that you got a lot of space between the top of that mounting and the windings. So, and then where the wires collected here, where the windings come together, they don't have a big old wad of stuff to get into. So very tidy. Carbon screw attached to carbon fiber arm, top plate. Yeah, that would probably be a button head, so that'd be a smaller. Yeah, I would try just using a Dremel, put a straight line in it. Otherwise, you can cut the top of the head off, and then when you remove the carbon, there's a stem big enough you can get a pair of vice grips on it, or a pair of pliers to back it out. Button, yeah. Heat them up first. Yeah. You can take your, depending on what they're mounted to, take the end of your soldering iron, put your soldering iron into the end of there, heat the screw up. Sometimes that'll help break them loose. If they have, especially if they have some sort of Loctite or something on them. Heat them up first, 4 I said. Sometimes that'll break them loose. Six millimeter and 6 millimeter. If you guys watch any of my videos in the past almost 7 years, where I show you a little trick so you never strip out your motor mounts, put your motor flush all the way down on your carbon plate, and then turn your screw counterclockwise, go backwards. Hear that click? Hear that? Hear that click? As soon as you hear that click and you feel that screw, then you know you're on the thread. You'll never strip them out, because you got a steel screw going into an aluminum base, and you don't want to strip that union out. I like to thread them with my fingers sometimes, but these are so tight together I can't. You just turn your screw counterclockwise until it clicks, until you feel it. You push down on it while you're doing it. Right there. You'll never strip one out. I was an electronics field technician. I used to work on big equipment. You know, some of this equipment, you know, parts are like 30 grand for, you go stripping screws out on these parts, and German manufacturers get pretty mad at you. So then of course I tighten everything down snug, and then I give it about a quarter turn. All right, so we got our front, our back. Get this dude on here. It looks like, look at the amount of wire they give you with these motors. Hey, did you guys see that picture that was going around on Facebook where somebody wired up all their motors like this? They went like a, I don't know, basket weaving kind of course. And that's how this motor was wired to number 2 or number 3. This motor was wired to number 4. This motor was wired to number 1. Did you guys see that picture? I don't know. Each is to his own. I don't think it would really do anything other than maybe cause a little more EMF than you need. I know one thing, you don't want your receiver over top of your motor wires. So the more motor wires you have, the more issue you might have. I made the mistake one time of trying to fix the receiver. The receiver died. I put the receiver on the arm. What was that? That was a problem. So like I said, I'm just going to use 4 standoffs. This top plate's doing nothing but protecting the stack from an impact this direction. So as far as space in here, it's kind of unlimited. I may end up soldering. I think I might solder my wires underneath and then bring them out here and zip tie it right there. Or I might take it all the way to the arm. What do you think? Let me zoom in. Should I zip tie them underneath the arm right here? Kind of have it running that way. Because I'm going to bottom mount the battery. The battery's going to be on there like that. So we got to get this figured out before we could do anything else. Every build I do, this is first thing I do is arrange my power line. So I could tuck it underneath that arm just a little bit, and then this would be free to go around. Wouldn't need that much length. Could come out the back here, but I don't really. Well, if I mount the battery like that, if I mount the battery upright, then I wouldn't need that much wire. But then my wire would go over. I'm going to put my VTX back here. Probably put that VTX like right there. I don't think I want to put it on the top of this stack. I might though. Yeah, kind of strange to run your wires that way. Yeah. I don't know. What do I want to do here? Do I want to run my battery flat? I think I'd rather run it flat. Have it come around here. Have the battery lead. I'm going to just go in there. I'm going to solder this to the XT30. So I'll have I might change that cap out. That's a pretty sizable cap. I'll have to see if I got a 470 that's half that size. I like to be able to plug in my battery without having my hand in the prop line. So like all my race quads. So just to give you an example. My race quad. Oh wow, that's wild. That is not that color. Look at that. That's a bright green and purple props. But on the face cam, it's not. That's kind of weird looking, isn't it? I don't know. Sorry, it's kind of weird. But yeah, my 5-inch quad, my race quad. I can put the battery on there. I have to go back to this face camera. I got enough space, so I can hold on to my battery when I plug it in, and I never have my hand in the prop line. See what I mean? And then with this one, you know, it's top mount, so I can hold on to the battery and plug it in right here on the side. So I never have my hand inside the prop line. You're going to have to come in with a bright green turtleneck next stream. Yeah. Be a floating head. I did the background like that because I kind of like how the, you know, I'm here in the corner, but I'm not covering everything up. Although on my live stream, I have the chat above me, except for this view. Well, I think that's how I'm going to mount that up. I think I'm just going to come out the side. You can see that's nice on this ESC because they have pads on both sides. So it's nice that you can do it either way. So that'll be out of the way. I'll zip tie it right here to the, put some gaff tape on. I do have some really good quality tape, cloth tape, so I can wrap the wires so that way the prop can't strike it. I think that might be the way I do it. I don't really want to, I could come around the back side here like that. I think that might be the way I do it. That's the shortest. That's the shortest way to get there. Because the shorter the battery lead wires, the better. Honestly, I wish that these bounce plugs weren't quite as long as they are. You know, they could sell you these batteries in like a, I don't know, a 6-pack or something, and they could put in an adapter, you know, a long adapter. I've already made my own. It's pretty nice. All you need is one of these dudes. I got a video on my channel how to use this thing properly, and you make your own bounce lead extensions. So when you're charging, you're not yanking on your bounce lead. I charge it just like this. I plug that into the ultimate charging station. Plug that in. I have wires that go to the ultimate charging station, so then I never have to mess with that. So it keeps it from getting broken, because the wires in the bounce will eventually break. Yeah, I think that's the way I'm going to do that. That looks pretty good, nice and clean. Plug that in. That thing will never come up into the prop line. So if I'm going to run this upside down, positive lead, might be a little bit too long. It's funny because this is the part where I'm like, it's kind of meditation in a way for me, because when I'm you know, dry fitting the power lead, that's what gets the rest of the build in my head. But I tell you what, if you skip this part, or you don't give it as much attention, every single time you go to plug your quad in, it's going to be an absolute pain. I also match up where's the negative to the negative, so that way you're not twisting your wires around every time. I like to make sure that this part is thought out, if you will. I think that's got to be it right there. And they got a little bit of slack. So now I'll put my hot lead right there, and then I'll put my ground lead right there. So that should do that. branded beans. In our club, we use Gem Fan branded elastic stack saver to hold the balance lead out of the way. But for smaller packs like that, I would probably just use rubber bands. Yep. Yeah, I've just been twisting them like that ever since I can remember. This pack here, I think this is 19. I think this is a 2019 pack. I just flew it last night. Some of them are starting to get a little old. I'll take this sheathing off. Let me see if I have another capacitor. I'd like the 470 because we did a continuity check on this, but I didn't have the flight controller plugged in. Let me plug the flight controller and get a total. Might not need that big. They have a on their flight stacks. They actually give you a locking bus cable. Man, look at the size of those coils. So 9 volt and 5 volt, pretty good filtration. Like I said, I have an unboxing where I put that under the microscope. MFR FPV, what's up? Tattoo. Yep. They've been pretty good batteries for me. I just recently ordered a bunch of 451S lipos off Amazon, a Tattoo 451S, and they were all over the place. One of them was completely dead. I think I might go with this dude here. You can see a little bit of size difference in them. So 450, 450. And then, so now that I got this plugged in, let's do a capacitance on this. Because if I would like to be about 600 to 700, I think that would be a good one. 6 to 700 would be good. So 400. And if I put a 470 would be a heck of a lot. I think a 470 is going to be a little overkill. I don't want 850, 950. So, oops. 850 to 950 might be a little bit much. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 813. Yeah, 813. That'd be all right. I think 650, 750 would be ideal for this build. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go with that one there. I just don't want too much because I hate plugging in arc welding my XT30s. Let's see here. It's like my chat is caught up, but for some reason it's not showing MFRs on there. Do you guys see MFR's tattoo comment? Strange. Now I get the fun of putting the grommets in the flight controller. Don't forget that's a locking. It's easy to forget that that's a locking bus cable. Get some power going on this dude. That's kind of strange, MFR. Your comment's not coming up in the chat here. Yeah, I see it. That's weird. I can see it. I can see it on YouTube because I read your guys' comments when it pops up in YouTube, and then I look over at my live stream chat pop out, and it's not showing up. For some reason, it had a show or hide. So I'm not sure if that had something to do with it. For some reason, it thought tattoo is a bad word. So that might be. I approved it. I don't know. I'm not a professional YouTuber. Nor do I try to be. Get the hot iron up, do about 360, 350, 360 Celsius. Let that dude heat up for a minute. Go ahead and prep our surface with some rosin paste. This makes it flow onto the pad so much faster without so much heat. You don't need as much heat. Because as you can see on this dude, there's components bridged between. So you don't want to heat this thing up real hot. For the wires, I like to use a little bit of etching. I have a tip tinner that has an etch in it for the wires I use, because that way it goes really quick. Because I don't like my solder going down into the insulation, because then that makes it stiff, makes it easier to break. Plus the etch has it's kind of a hard gel. So it kind of helps you form the bundle a little bit. Okay. Appreciate that, Brandon. So I want this on its side. Make sure this is right. So right side up, coming out of there, come around. No, I want it like that. I want the positive up. Okie dokie. Let's see if I can put that in the screen for you. Grab my hands here. I'm trying to film this at the same time. Just a little bit more. It's hard to see, but they have a stack of ceramic capacitors right there. And that ceramic capacitors are kind of wanting to teeter-totter that wire up. Kind of a pain, but just gonna put it right there. Okay. Terrible job filming that for you. Let's clean this one side up a little bit. Got a little teeny bit of wire poking out. Turn my iron down. Inspect my work. Make sure nothing's bridged or touching. Looks like we had one little strand of wire escape. All right. Do a continuity check real quick. Overload. Some good there. You know, I want to check this. I'd like to check this outgoing voltage too. It says VBAT. Just want to check this VBAT line out. 15.2. Pretty steady. There's no Beck on this. There's no Beck on the ESC, so there's no other voltage than VCC. So we're just going to make sure that the diagram here for our ESC is good to go. That's our flight controller, ESC. The connector, so voltage, ground, signal 1. You see that? So voltage, ground, motor 1, 2, 3, 4, current, and then this yellow wire right here, they're not using it. So that's not connected, NC. Okay. Let's go ahead and find some stack screws for this now, but I got to put these grommets, kind of a pain putting these grommets in. So Thursday afternoon's kind of a slow time for YouTube Live. I know you're supposed to pay attention to that algorithm. Supposed to pay attention to the YouTube algorithm of when you should do your live stream, but I do my live stream when I feel like working on something and I actually have some time to do it. I kind of wonder, how did you know that I was live streaming today? Did you happen upon it, or did you get notified, or how are you aware that I was live streaming? You got Apache Smoke, you got notified. So you have the bell notification on worked. So there's been about a few people that have said like, oh man, I missed your live. They messaged me on Facebook, or that where they have my cell number and they just messaged me like, I didn't realize you were live. I'm like, well, turn your notifications on. They're like, I did, and it never said anything. So it kind of makes me wonder. When you see my unboxing video of this flight controller, an ESC, and you see how large the pads are for these components and how much solder they used, I think you're gonna be impressed, because they used a lot of solder, and the pads are twice as big as some of the other boards. You know what I mean? As far as the component having a foundation to sit on, and the amount of solder that could be flowed to that component, it's a lot. You'll see it when I show you the component on the microscope. So I'm not too worried about the components on this thing flaking off, or so that reboot button is right there. I don't think I'm too concerned about it because of the diameter of that grommet. But see how that boot button is right next to the grommet? I don't know if I'm a fan of that or not. I know once you put a washer and a nut on there, it's probably never going to touch, but get to crashing and bashing. My foot got itchy. That usually tells me when you're on. I'll take that as a compliment. Foot got itchy. And what do they say? If the palm of your hand itches, that means you're going to come into some money. All kinds of wives' tales out there. All right, well, obviously not too terrible. We'll make sure that we get this stack wired up right. I don't know if I like the locking or not. I think I'm gonna like it because I've had them detach. You hit something, and then that bus cable comes out of the connector enough to where the quad won't react, it won't turtle, it won't do anything. I think that's looking pretty good there. See a lot of space in there. So we're going to need a pretty tall standoff for this. Let's take a gander and see what we're going to need. So we need a standoff with a shank. So if I just measure to the top of that grommet, because once it squishes down, it'll give me my ultimate length of 16 millimeter. 16. Got plenty of 16. We got lots and lots of 16. Yeah, I haven't flown this frame in probably 3 years, maybe 4. Actually, maybe even longer than that, because my channel's turning 7 years old here February. Thank you, Mr. Zeke. I appreciate it. Just testing to see if it worked. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I think it only works once. Oh, duh. I didn't even think about it. 16 millimeters is the stack shank height, but I still have a 3 millimeter carbon plate to go through. So it looks like I'll be using 20s. I just started that screw through there and thought to myself, boy. All right, so 20 millimeter stack screws is what you're going to need. Let me get these dudes out of here. Yeah, I appreciate it, Mr. Zeke. Yeah, I haven't flown this in a long time, but I was trying to think. This is a quad. This frame, I should say. This frame has been around a while for me. I haven't been using a 9 millimeter motor mounting. Is your hand itchy, Props? Yeah. Nope, that was a complete and utter surprise. That one don't look like it, yeah. Nice surprise. You know, I give away pretty much all my Patreon and membership money to other YouTube channels when somebody's doing a live stream, or mostly when they're doing a live stream. I'm gonna use the supplied parts that they give. I need to put those screws on something hard. Let me I hate to use my first place. I won Burnt Motors. There was 2 Burnt Motors races. I won the first one, multi GP at IO in Muncie, Indiana. I actually came in first place. I don't have that many trophies. It's just kind of fun to win something. Yeah, that ain't squishing her down too much at all. Actually, nice and firm. It's not squashing the grommet too much. Yeah. I'm just dry fitting, and I really don't need to go this far, but now I like to go make sure all of them are even. You never want too tight and too loose, because then your gyro is sitting on there crooked. Now obviously it's crooked because I haven't put in the back ones on, but I'm just kind of dry fitting everything. So there's the stack. And there's the top height. I'm gonna end up, I think I'm gonna grab some different standoffs. Oh no, a whole box of screws. I think I might have some slam shorties in here. I know I got space for my camera. That's the only problem with using these slam shorties. But man, they're gonna look so good. This quad will look a lot better slammed. And there's plenty of room in the frame for you to do it. Hopefully I have enough. Oh yeah, plenty. That's gonna totally change the look of this quad too. I'll tell you what, I slammed this one. It totally changed the look. Look how nasty that thing looks. This thing's a tank. ESC screw missing. But not put the, no, sure haven't. Still got to do that yet. You'll wish me luck. Potted a VTX and flight controller. Mr. Zeke, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'm in and out daily obligations. Yeah, I know. MFR, you're at work right now. I'm gonna have obligations here shortly myself. So you can see length difference there. I'm gonna put these short ones on there and see what it looks like. I had debated about these live streams, because it's like I have an opportunity to work on something and also an opportunity to kind of hang out with the Propsoff family, I debated about doing them just because it takes a bit to get it set up, and it makes me nervous even now. My mouth dries out. I still get nervous because it's like, who knows who's watching you. I really don't care about who's judging me. People can judge all they want, but it still makes me nervous. All right, let's see what that looks like. That's better, yeah. Remember, it looks like an angle, but it's not. Once I get that stack all the way down in there, it'll be squared. But yeah, that's slam deck. It's going to look a lot nicer. So I think we'll go that route. Plenty of space for that to happen. Everything should be nice and tight. Shouldn't have any. There's actually a standoff in the center right here that goes to this center hole here. So I could put another standoff in the center if I wanted to. I don't know if I'm gonna. And then I'm gonna run the motor wires up through here, and then I'll go underneath the flight controller and come out right here. So they'll be nice and tucked away up the arm here. I thought about just going directly to it instead of wrapping around, but it's nice to have that little bit of slack. It'll go up underneath the flight controller. They'll be in there. They'll be in there like that underneath the flight controller. See? Got the gyro right there. So we don't want to make sure we don't have anything on that. Yep. Pretty good. And then I think I'll put my VTX right here. Put that right at the back end. We'll snap the arms off of this. I was gonna put it in here because it has a 20x20 mount going like that. But it's kind of nice to get it out of the way, get it away from all of that. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this stack up real quick and just make sure everything, all the voltages are good before I get too far along with it. So let me go ahead and put all that away. We'll go ahead and light that dude up. Gotta hustle for them FPV parts. Shadow band for loving. No, don't even start that. Bring in a whole bunch of people I don't want in here. Hey man, how you doing? AK Gadget, doing good. Welcome to the live stream. All right, we'll do a continuity check real quick to make sure that we ain't got anything in there touching. So we're still good. And then we'll check out some voltages here. Make sure there's no wires touching my flight controller. So we have VBAT and ground. Let's see, 5 volt. Let's do VBAT first. Should be 15. Can you see them? Sorry. There you go. VBAT and ground. We have 15.8 and then 5 volt and ground. So 1.9. And then we have five volt ground over here. 1.99. Then we have a 9-volt. Let me see here. 9-volt ground. Got a 5-volt here. 9-volt here. Wall 8.9. 8.9. So there's two 9-volts or 8.9. What is my LiPo? Let me make sure my LiPo ain't too far down. 17. So 3.78, almost storage voltage. So we should be getting 5 and 9-volt. So it does look like the internal voltage specs on these are just a smidgen low, but totally within spec. I'm happy with that. So I just gotta do the hook the motors up, and I'll get this secured down. First, I need to we'll get our motor wires done, and then we'll secure the flight stack down. $31.99. I mean, are you kidding me right now? You get that whole stack, and it's 32-bit ESC. That's not an 8-bit ESC. That's not a cheap ESC. So $31.99 on sale right now. And then after their sale is done, then you can use my promo code Propsoff to get 10% off the whole website. So that's a OddityRC. They have no expectations for me. You know what I mean? They're not like, hey, you have to do a video X amount long. You have to share it to these places. You have to say all nice stuff about us. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing. I mean, nothing. They didn't even expect me to do a video. They just wanted me to let them know what I thought of their stuff. So, yeah, buddy, I'm blocked. I'll protect you. Oh, did you get yourself blocked? This reminds me I should be building something. Broken Parts FPV. Welcome to the chat. This reminds me I should be building something. I know. I hate to say it, but I'll watch people's live streams and hang out or whatever. And then I'm like, man, in the amount of time I hung out on that live stream, I could have built something right along with them. I don't know. I hate to say it, but the passion hasn't been as strong. I don't have the money to buy the new stuff because the new stuff is so expensive. And then there's some things that are so expensive, just out of principle, I'm not going to buy it. So, but this is kind of unique because they sent me this entire stack of motors. I already had the frame. I already had a receiver. And this is a VTX out of Super Duper V2.2, I think. So, hey, MFR, were you in here earlier when I showed this off? I flew this line of sight last night. Did you get to see the members only video? The thing, that light right there, I mean, just absolute. It's hard to tell in here because the studio lights are so bright. But man, watching those LEDs, it's dark out, kind of foggy. It was like 41 degrees. I didn't care. I had to fly it. It flew really good, by the way, on stock everything. But just staring at that light, cruising around, flipping around, up and down, back and forth. And then after I got done, I had to sit in the parking lot for a while and let the dark spot in the center of my vision go away before I could drive home. I sat there for like 15 minutes. It like burnt my retinas. MFR, man, you're gonna get banned on here too. You're gonna bring in all kinds of people I don't want in here. You're gonna get the YouTube police on me. All right, look at the amount of wire they give you though. Like I'm gonna keep. That's why I like wrapping them around like this, because I like to have that extra slack in case I need it. There's been times where I've ripped motor wires and this is coming really handy. So I just come up like that, come around like that. Pretty standard stuff. But yeah, so that's how I'm gonna, right underneath the flight controller, there's plenty of space. And then I have some gaff tape that I'm gonna since I'm here, I might as well get it done. Cut them. Yep, a lot of extra wire. So you could put this in a pretty, you could put these motors into a decent sized frame. I don't know if you noticed the size of these pads. This is 20 by 20 stack. The pads are 2.5 millimeter squares. How many people in chat soldered up the Mamba 20 by 20, one of their first iterations? The pads were so small and tight together, man. It was. I used to have on this here, I used to have a little magnifying glass. I don't use that anymore because I have my digital microscope. I have a video on that digital microscope on the channel if you're interested in knowing more about it, but I don't use microscopes or magnifying glass anymore because that microscope is amazing. I fixed for a friend, I fixed it was a GoPro like circuit. It's like a film circuit board. It had broken in half, and I actually jumper wired, like, I think it was 26 wires on that to fix it's just a, film acetate circuit board. I think I'm gonna put this over and then under. Kind of want these to be uniform. It takes me a while to build stuff. I'm a little picky. I like to build it once, and then every time I look at it, it's super clean, and that makes me happy. Plus, a super clean build will give you less problems later. Because if you have any loose wires, you're flying around, those G-forces make those wires flip and flop around. Doesn't take long before they break or short out. Super nice. I don't know if I want to, I might make some custom 3D prints for this frame. Might jump on CAD and make up some stuff. A couple things I'd like to do for the analog VTX antenna. Right now I'm just going to zip tie it to one of the standoffs, but it'd be nice to have like a little holder for it. kind of excited to see how this dude flies too. These motors are, I don't know if I can, let me put a little, now that I have it mounted to the frame, let me put a little adapter in here. These props are kind of neat because you can use the M5 or T-mount, and then it comes with this little adapter piece for the T-mount. See what I mean? So that little adapter in there. Now you can use it on more than one quad. Let me turn this. I don't know if you can see. It's hard to show it. You gotta feel it. They're gonna be really, really grunty motors. I hope that they're not like complete battery eaters, but I really want that grunt. And being 14.0, what is it, 1405? They remind me of the iFlight Tachyon motor. But the Tachyon motors are 1408, and they are absolute battery eaters. They don't have as tight a tolerance as these motors. These motors have a pretty tight tolerance, so I'm hoping that they're pretty efficient. Efficient, a lot of grunt, torquey, kind of, you know, have your cake and eat it too scenario. Just making sure. Everybody must be busy on a Thursday afternoon. All right, so now I can, it'll be easy to fix this in the field if I need to. I've got some extra wire out here if I need it. I'll get these dudes soldered up. I'm interested in hearing what that AM32 ESC sounds like when it chimes up. It's 2:30 now. I gotta run. Gotta go pick up the kids from school. So yeah, I'll have let me see if just to show you what I'm talking about, I'll pull it up here. So this stack, I will have a video coming soon on the channel. Let me pull this up real quick. All right, so here's the stack that I'm currently messing with. So right now it's $31.99. And it is 3 to 6S. So like I said, I'll have an unbox video on this, but I wanted to let you know that yeah, if you're running DJI, you need to read that. DJI, I believe all you have to do is put in a snippet, or you have to manually set up. There's quite a few changes in Betaflight when you go from analog to digital. But that's pretty much where I wanted to mock up where I'm going to do all that and then get that all put together. Hang out on here if anybody had any questions. Again, right now, this flight controller, there's a sale on it, so the code doesn't work. But after that sale's done with, Propsoff for a coupon code, affiliate link below. But yeah, well, I gotta go get the kids from school. So appreciate you tuning in, hanging out with me while I'm working on the quad. we'll have another live stream soon. So yeah, y'all have a great day. Enjoy the breeze.